ready once again. All right, some people in here. David Pinto saying hello. Hello, David. Hank, hi back. Audible video is testing. Hello, Audible video. Gonna do a little bit of Ableton Live, the way it was intended to be used when it was originally conceived today. Andrew Duque is back. Oh, wow. Wow, Andrew Duque is back. Haven't seen Andrew Duque here in a while. Now I'm nervous. Minutes. We'll get started. Yes, Simple Sam, it is Friday already, and let's start the show. Oh, you caught me dancing. Hey, everybody, welcome back. My name is Abe Duque. I am an instructor here at 343 Labs. You're watching 343 TV. I'm here every Friday at 1 o'clock doing my thing, which is production of all sorts. My show is called Production Basics. Welcome. We are 343. We are 343, like we are Borg. We are 343 TV. We stream on Friday and Saturdays and every other Tuesday. We also have a school, 343 Labs. Come and check out our website, 343labs.com, and check out our class schedules. We have classes starting all the time. Anyway, let's get into the show. Let's see who's out there. I see Simple Sam is there. Of course, F-Stop, of course, David Pinto. I always like to shout out everybody. Hank is out there. I saw, believe it or not, Andrew Duque in the chat. I was like, whoa, Andrew Duque hasn't been here in a minute. Happy to see Andrew Duque. Paul Vandenwerf. Okay, A. Paul. You changed your name to A. Paul there. A. Paul is a very distinguished artist. I'm very actually excited to have him here in our midst. John H. Kingston III, of course. All right, everybody's streaming in right now. If I haven't said your name, I'm sorry, and maybe I just missed it, but we are 343. Resistance is futile, says Simple Sam. Yes, we are 343. I should put on my vocoder voice and say we are 343. Resistance is futile. Let me see anybody else. Francesco Morrissey or Morrisse. I'm not sure how Francesco pronounces it. All right. We are all here, and we are 343. Resistance is futile. Okay, today. Well, let me give you an update. What happened this weekend? I played live at City Fox. I finally put my, all that preparation into action. Got that live show going. Actually went really well. Had a good time. It was a very nice, relaxing time. It was, I played in the ambient lounge, so the point of it was to make people relax. And it was great to get out of the house and actually bring all my gear to a venue and actually play. So this was amazing for me. So back now, I reset up the gear. The gear's all set up over here, and I'm getting ready because we're having a launch event for 343 Studio where I'm going to be playing live for the launch event. The last one was correct. For Francesco Morisse. Is that right? Did I say that? Is that the last one I say? Oh, I don't know. I'll just keep on trying different ones. Went well with the live show. Anyway, let's see. Lots of people talking in the chat. I can get very distracted here with you guys. Again, if you guys want to ask me any questions, I'm always looking at the chat. I'm always checking out what you guys are talking about, and maybe, I can address a question or two here and there. Okay, so today I wanted to get into a little bit of Ableton Live, but not just for production. I mean, production is interesting in Ableton Live, I guess. I think it's become the DAW to be able to know, because everybody wants to use it and to collaborate, and the industry standard or whatever has become Ableton. I have more Ableton students than ever. I've been teaching Ableton for over 10 years, and there are so many people needing to learn Ableton jumping ship from Logic, which I never thought I would see. Because the adoption rate has gone really high up, but Ableton didn't start out as a DAW. Ableton was not a DAW when it first came out. It was actually, the program is not called Ableton. The app is called Live. And the idea behind Live was that the guy that created it wanted to bring his computer on stage and play live with his computer on stage. So this is the motivation for the creation of Live. And till now, Live is probably the best software to go on stage with your computer with. better than Tractor, better than Serato, better than anything you could imagine. Live is tight, especially with dealing with controllers, dealing with things on the fly. You could probably start a set and create a set as on the fly live without any hiccups. Anyway, I hear the chat going crazy. Let me see what you guys are talking about. So Andrew Duke says, was cool to see Apple's announcement this week that they had someone talking about Apple products and live, not just Logic. That's right. Okay, David Pinto says you should make a video about your gig rig. I am actually. We're going to do a stream event, and I'm going to play live on my gig rig, and I'm going to break it down during the stream event on. I think it's on the 19th of March. Okay, Ableton was a state of mind, says F-Stop. Let's see what else. Ableton was a potato, says Simple Sam. I would have ate it if it was a potato. F-Stop says, hi, Sam. Okay. Saying hello, Sam. All right. So, yeah, somebody's on Twitch saying hi from Farming81. Let's see. Who else? Are we doing DJ mixing with live today? We're kind of. I'm going to just, I had started a set, and I did a set. And let me just go ahead to the Ableton thing here so that I can already get going. Let me switch out to what I have here. So, okay. So I have my set, and I think you guys have seen this set before. It's a set that I've been kind of playing around with, and it's basically some of my completed tracks, just kind of laid out in here. And I think you've seen some of it, but I want to kind of really break it down and maybe show you some of the things I didn't show you before. So there's a lot going on in this set. So I'm just going to start kind of goofing around here. If I play this, that's a track of mine, right? If I click on another one, that's another track of mine, and I could play them together, right? Just quickly, I'm playing the full track. Some of the things immediately you could see that I have set up are, for example, I have a kill here on my low end. So if you look on the channel here, I have an EQ3. A lot of the times people are used to using the EQ8 in Ableton. Ableton's EQ8 is the one that you use in production, and for obvious reasons. There's a lot of power in that. But there's an EQ called the EQ3, which you guys should be using if you're playing live. Why? Because it's set up sort of like a DJ mixer would be. So it has low, mid, and high kind of controls. But then it has these fabulous low cuts that you can make. So right here, I'm pressing this button, and as you can see, you have the low cutting out and on. And basically, you set the low cut to, I find that if you set a low cut to like 100 hertz or between 90 and 100 hertz, it's perfect for, let me just show you what happens. It's perfect for just cutting out enough of the bottom, enough of the sub, that I hate when you cut out when DJs cut out the low end and cut out the subs and the bass and the mids, and it sounds like it loses energy in the dance floor. This actually can even continue to move a dance floor, but if you bring it back, you get that bass, that sub bass in and out. So I've got all my channels that are playing stuff mapped in this way. Now, this is not the way that this controller has been mapped from the from the factory. Well, from the factory, there's a remote script written in Python that gives this controller some functionality that, that it was designed for Ableton, this controller. So everything is meant to mirror Ableton, but I've kind of taken it over to do its own thing, in the sense that it will, I've sort of customized it. So this button here is not meant for bringing in and out the bass. It's meant for actually, I think it's meant for mutes or something like that. But once you take a control over, and if you put it, I'll show you, I'm going to MIDI map mode, you'll see that this is this MIDI CC that I'm sending out, and easily I can do that. And I can do that for all like the other deck has the same thing going on. And I think there's an acid one where I think I might have the same thing going on, or maybe not on that one, but at least on the ones that I'm playing. So quickly, just to remind you a little bit of DJ kind of stuff here. A good transition trick, in the meantime, for DJing is that we use these cuts so that before, let's say I'm about to bring in this one here. So before I bring in this one, I cut it. All right, so I have deck B is cut. And then I could bring it in without the low end. And now deck A has the bass in, and deck B has no bass in. And at a certain point, on time, I just switch over the power. So I turn on the bass on the one and take it off of the other. And I press these two buttons at the same time. Ready? And now I switched over the power. Now the bass went on this one and turned off on this one. And I can switch them back. And then back again. And what that does is that it lets me now easily slide out of the other one, because most of the power and the strength and the girth is on the other track. Let's do that again. Let's try another one. Let's try this one here. This one has the bass removed, as you can see, and I'm going to bring it in. It's not overpowering, because if it had the bass, suddenly both of them with the bass could be overpowering. And then at a certain point, I could switch out. Ready, and switch. The power went over to the one on the left. And I'll switch it back just to show you what happened. 1, 2, 3, and back to the other one. Now the power is on the B side. And what do I mean by the power? I mean that the low end, the heavy low end, is happening there. And I'll switch it back. And then easily then I could slide out of the other one, because the power is on the one that has, well, the left one, which has the low end in there. So that's a big mapping for me. It helps me kind of DJ my tracks out very easily by being able to do that, by being able to go ahead and switch out that way, because otherwise it would be like this. So let's just drop another track in here, and I'm going to drop it without having the low end taken out. Watch. There's so much power. It's okay. It works fine, but it's more subtle when you take out the low end and you slide it in that way. See, now it's just the beats, just the mid-range, and some of the bass coming in there. Switch it out, and you could slide off of the other one. Very seamless, very easy to do. Yes, Ableton Audible Video asks, Ableton does use Python for its scripting. Its remote scripts are written in Python. Hey, Max Wild is here. Yeah, these are all my tracks, so maybe I could, in the meantime, continue to play some of my old tracks for you guys. Just having a little fun today, a little party. It's Friday. We gotta have a little party. Let's do this one. Taking out the bass, bringing that in. Switch out the bass. Ready? Switched out the bass. Seamless. And then you can remove the other one. Even on time. 1, 2, 3, and that's such a seamless old trick for transitions in music, and when you play music, especially when you DJ. So I'm kind of like DJing with these parts here. Let's try another one. Oh, that one's too crazy. All right, let me stop it for a second, and let's have a look at some of the other things that I have programmed in here. So that's really cool that I can, go ahead and, take out that low end. That's a really big one for me. One of the first, if I'm setting up an Ableton Live set and I'm playing whole tracks in there, that's one of the first things I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to make it so that so that I can drop out the low end on any particular track, and that means a cut that's about between 90 and 100 hertz. That's the magic number for these cuts. Okay, so now, what else do I have? So I can see this playing now, right? I have a setup with filtering in here where I have several layers that these knobs could turn into. This layer here turns into filtering. So this top knob turns into a filter. Now let me show you what is actually happening here. You see that? That's my filter. I could switch between a high-pass filter, which is what I'm working right now, to a low-pass filter, and I have that set up on this next button. That's actually meant to select what the crossfader is going to be, but I've taken it over and customized it and made it so that I could switch out what filter I'm dealing with. So I'll break down the little rack there and how it works in a second, but watch this. As I'm playing it, I could filter it. That's a high pass, and then I can switch it out, make it low pass. So either I work the high pass or the low pass. So switch it out. So that's quite a simple rack that I've made, but it's actually very powerful. There's only 2 macros set up in there, and if we go into the mapping mode for this macro, we can see what actually goes on in here. And what I have is one macro set to a knob for to the button here for device on, and the device on for this device and this device are set to the same button. But the difference is that one is set with 64 as a minimum, and one is set as 127 as a maximum, and the other one is set with 127 as a maximum. As a minimum, and 64 as a maximum. So basically, the idea is that they are inverted. So when I click one on, the other one turns off. So in one position, one's on, and the other position, the other one's off. That's why I can select between those two by clicking on this button here, going back and forth between them. And then the knob here is set to control both frequencies on these filters, but one, if you look at it again, one is inverted from the other one. One is controlling with this as the minimum, and the other one has this as the maximum, and so on. So they're going backwards from each other. But that's great because when I switch it out, it actually works out for us in the way that we want to use it. So that's the low pass one. And you'll notice that I set ranges so that I can't go lower than this, because if I go lower than this, the actual sound disappears completely, and that doesn't really make any sense to me. And I've also added a little bit of a bump here, a little bit of a swish, and we could add that Q a little bit higher, because that Q is going to give us that kind of drama, that swishy drama. And I've limited it from going all the way up, and in this one I limited it from going all the way down. I mean, all the way to take out the highs, because if I go past this point, it's going to get silent, and I just want to be able to land in the right place. So limits are really good for this. Go back and forth. Go back again. So this I can do with any one of these tracks. Any one of these tracks has this filter setup. It's a simple filter setup. You should build it and save it. I call it Filter for Live. It's sitting in my racks there, my presets. Okay, so Martin Crockett is talking about my painter's tape again. He's not happy until he sees my painter's tape. I just bought I showed you last week, I bought a brand new roll of painter's tape. Anyway, let's see what else I have set up in this set at the moment. So I have another layer here, and I go up this layer here. I could actually send this into a delay. it's a ping pong delay. So let's look at it. I think it's this one here. So I could send it in there, but the cool thing is that I could send that and bring it back out. But the cool thing is that I've mapped to the this is the master fader for the whole project, which is one of those things that you kind of need to map out to something else immediately, because you don't want to have this master fader for the project kind of just sitting there. Because if you do, you might bump it by mistake, and you might make the whole project too loud, or you might bring everything down by mistake and make the whole project too quiet. So it's really better that we kind of give it to something else. So I set this to control, look, the filter frequency on my delay there. So when I go into delay and add some delay, I could just do low, and I could sweep it, which gives me so much power on the dance floor. It's all about creating drama, right? Okay, so that's that. Simple, but works magic. Really, I could jam with this for a very long time. This is something that, and people look at you doing this, and you're like, how is he doing that? That's amazing, or whatever. It's just clever preparation, really. And with playing live with a computer, with Ableton, or with Bitwig, you could do the same with Bitwig. It's just about the preparation, how you conceptualize what you can do. So I'm trying to give you ideas of things that you can set up in here. Let's see. So I have other things set up. Last time, I think a couple of weeks ago, we worked with a device called the Beat Repeat. Remember, it was like the road less travel or something like that we were doing with Ableton. And in this device, I showed you one setting that you can play with that really gets you going with the pitch decay. So this is my trigger. Remember, I said sometimes I like to put it on my crossfader, because to turn it on, and just turning on the repeat is a lot of fun. Watch what happens. So I get this going again. So having fun, maybe filtering it, and then at one point, grab it into that beat repeat. That's really magical. That looks like I'm doing so much with it, but all I'm doing is activating that beat repeat. And did I set up controls for I should set up controls for the pitch decay, because the pitch decay is a very powerful control to be playing with. So let's MIDI map the pitch decay. It seems to be mapped to something already. I wonder if I already have a knob around here that is mapped to this pitch decay. Maybe in this here. No, not here. See, that's the thing. That's why the blue tape is super important. But let's remap it to something. Let's take it to let's take it to this filter, and let's map the pitch decay here to this one, and let's see that happen. Now I could totally play with that. And the idea is to have just fun with this stuff. Martin Clarky says there's a washout effect rack that's quite good for this type of transitional effect also. Yeah, have a look at the washout effect. Is it one of the presets, Martin? Okay, let's keep on going here. Let's switch out to another track. And I have these set up so that, of course, from the box you get this kind of red box area where I can find something here and get a track that I like, and then drop it in, because my my buttons here, my clip launchers are ready to go. Taking out the bass, dropping this one in, coming in with not the heavy bass, but switching out. I'm going to switch out in 1, 2, 3, and switched out the energy. And then I could even, at this point, since I have the delay going, I could throw it into delay and wash it out, and then just bring this one in and let this one play. Okay, good to be playing. Happy Friday, everybody. It's party time. All right, let's keep on going to see. Oh, wait, it's about halfway past. It's 1:28 or so. Just need to remind you guys that you're watching 343 TV. We're here on Fridays at 1 p.m. for my show. Tomorrow, John Selway's show. John will announce the winner. There's a competition every week, or a contest every week, or an award given out to the person that goes on the chat and signs up for this. This is for this week is for an Arturia effect of your choice. Arturia makes amazing software, and we're giving away an Arturia effect of your choice. It will be given out on John's show tomorrow. If you want to come and and see who gets announced as the winner, or maybe you're the winner. So I think in the chat, you look in the chat and you'll see the link for the giveaway for this week. And yes, and do come back for tomorrow's show where John Selway will show you or talk to you everything about techno or electro. I don't know. He does techno/electro show on a daily. All right. So what else? Also, if you like what you see, please give me a like, because it's nice to brag to my friends that I have a lot of likes. And hit subscribe. Let's see how many subscribers we have at this point. We have 23.6K. We're looking to try to get to 25K as soon as we can. So let's see. Just trying to see what's going on in the chat. Guys, keep going in the chat. If you have questions for me as well, just keep that happening. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be playing for you and having some fun here. Let's see what I got. Delay. Remember, I could sweep the delay here. Or I could do this. Isn't that fun? All right, let's see what else I got going on for you guys. I got another effect set up, and this one I like to set it up. I could have done this with the delay, but I like to do it with at least one, and I'm doing it with the reverb. So let me bring down the filter a little bit on this so I can talk over it. So there's my tracks are playing. I have a setup so that I could go and drop something completely into reverb, like maybe like a sort of like a washout real quick by just hitting one button. And I've mapped these buttons, which are clip stop buttons, to do that. Watch this. So I'll do it lower. See how that goes into the reverb. Let me pick another track. And put that into reverb real quick. See how I get that kind of kick bomb going? And what's the reverb that I'm using? Is it this one? Yeah, it's a reverb with a pretty high decay time. Just a nice bomby sort of thing. Gives you a nice quick way of getting reverb going. It's always very impressive when you could do something like that. I love that thing. Okay, so yeah, so you don't have to. So a lot of people think you have to put an effect on a knob, and that's the only way to work an effect while you're playing live. No, put them on buttons, because you could just jam right into it and jam right out of it. It's just perfect. And you could get controllers that you can design to have just momentary setups for, so that you could press the button, and as you're pressing it, it's in the reverb or whatever, and then as soon as you let it go, it stops. This one I have to press twice because I didn't kind of program it that way, but I could have programmed it so that I just press it once and it just goes into the reverb when I press the button. But it's okay to press it twice, in and out. So delay. Oh, that's filtering. That's delay. And that's a quick reverb bomb. All right, let's keep going with this. So I have other setups here. I have other things going. Let's jump to another track. I'm just drop on it random. Once again, taking out the bass. And again, it comes in and it just smoothly kind of augments with the other track, and then you slip in the bass or switch out the basses. And it's kind of sneaky, actually, how you can make a mix sound so seamless very easily that way. Okay, I have also a setup where I have a bunch of acid that I wrote, acid lines, and I should have written more, but these are my acid lines for the moment. And I use this kind of machine that I built. I guess I call it Acid Yeah 1 or whatever. And it's basically an analog synth from Ableton with a glue compressor on it and a bit of a limiter to, like, you know, glue compressor to get the kind of saturation that I want out of it, and the limiter to, like, just make sure it doesn't go too crazy. And I also have a velocity MIDI effect, which a lot of people don't use that velocity MIDI effect, but it's a really wonderful effect when you want to kind of change the intensity of the programming that you have. And then I have a bunch of mapped out controls here, which I've pre-mapped to these knobs here. Now, these knobs normally are set up to change under your fingers when you go into focus onto any particular device. But in this case, what I've done is I've made it so that I can, hold on, just bring this down. I made it so that I can keep these, no matter what happens. These are going to be the controls for my acid here. So let's get some acid going in here. And that's a clip that I've launched, and now I'll bring in my acid. Now I have controls for frequency, resonance, and the cool thing is that you could use two hands for this. And envelope modulation, glide, so if I want to make it 101 style or more 303, it's more 101 style, right? Here's octave on the oscillator 2. Drive, you see how that moves the velocity. Envelope decay, compression. That's pretty cool. Can I throw that into delay? There it is in the delay. Same setup. Let's go back to my filter and open it up on this track. It's sounding good, sort of. So let's switch out the acid, switch it to another track or another clip. Abe, would you... Okay, so hold on. Martin Cracker says, Abe, could you assign a keyboard shortcut to trigger the bass cut in the EQ3 for a DJ style effect? Not sure if you covered. Yes, I did that first. That's the first thing I did. I did it here. Now, I could do it on a keyboard. If I wanted to, I could grab a keyboard and you know, I have a keyboard here. I could map it into any one of these keys. It's just where you decide to map it. For this case, I've just done it here. And that's okay. But let's bring in another one. I love that. Let's switch out the basses. I got two tracks playing now. Let's switch out the bass. See how seamless and feels like a good DJ is doing it? I'm just having fun with this stuff. All right, let's put the delay on that one and wash it out. And let the other one play. Switch out the bass line. Adjust with the movements. I also have some loops here, some random loops that I could kind of just play in, you know, for fun, which are also set up with the reverb and the delay and the filtering. So lots of fun here. All right, let's shut it down for a little bit. I don't want to make too much of a party happen here. Right. So as you can see, with Ableton and a good controller, you could have a lot of fun. Like the key for me is that I would be able to play this stuff and mostly never have to look to my computer screen, that I could just have, and it's very important that I have mapped out controls that are always the same, like static, so that I could be blindfolded, tied with one arm tied behind my back, drunk, and I could just reach out and grab a parameter and go, yeah, that's it, and know that exactly what's going to happen. I don't like it when things change under my fingers. That's one reason I don't use a push that much. I have a push here, but I don't use it that much when I play live. I love the push for production situations, but for playing live, the push is a little bit, for me, it's a little too much to think about. You got to remember, and I always say this, and if you've ever, had a class with me, you might have heard this before. When you go out there and you play on stage, whether you're DJing or playing live or even just making a speech, you get dumber. You lose about 20 or 30 points of IQ. You become a really dumb version of yourself. And you got to prepare so everything is kind of dumbed down and ready to go. And if you have to start going through different menus and scrolling through different screens, that is a lot to deal with, especially when you're focusing on that and having a dance floor to mind. And when you're on the dance floor or on a stage and to a crowd, the relationship should be between you and the crowd, not between you and your computer, your mouse and your screen and your maybe your push. It should be more like you should be able to look out there, grab a knob, and just have fun, smile, and make everybody feel like we're having a party. That for me has been always my approach to this. So let's look at some other controls that I have here. So for selecting tracks, right, I have this kind of red box that you get out of the box, and sometimes this is a fancy controller. It's a bit expensive, but we could use another controller type. We could use this type of controller if you want. I've done whole sets mapping it out to something simple like this. And in this case, you have faders and knobs and buttons that you can map out to do what you want it to do. Let's say there are some secret controls inside of Ableton that you would not know are there unless you kind of dug under the hood here. And let's have a look at some of them. So there's a way. So a lot of them show their face when you click on the MIDI mapping button here. So there are things, for example, like this area here. There's an area here that allows me to map a controller to playing back the whole start and stop of the whole track on the scenes. Actually, this is for the scenes, play back and stop on each one of these scenes. Then there's a way to scroll up and down with this one highlighted line or scene. And here I could actually map that to a knob. And now this knob right here that you're looking at, this is the one that Ableton sets up as a tempo control knob. And I'm going to take that and map that to this. So watch what happens now that I've mapped that to this. There, see that line, that white line? This line here, this scene? That line moves up and down, and it lets me quickly just scroll up and down with what's happening there. You wouldn't know that you could do this and that you could map a controller to easily do this because it's not that obvious until you start to look under the hood here. But if I have that going, right, and then I go to the MIDI map button here, and you see these play buttons here, they also are secret because they don't exist until you put the MIDI map button on. Once you do that, you can let's bring this here. So you have these play buttons. I can map these play buttons. So I'm going to map them to the solos on here. So I'm going to map this one to this solo, this one to this solo. Actually, I shouldn't have mapped it to that one because that one I'm not using. So I'll map it to this one, this solo. Delete the mapping by just highlighting it and deleting it. Actually, this is what I want. This one here, and this one with the loops will be here, and then the one with the acid will be this one here. So what does this do? So this makes it so that I can scroll, and wherever that white line is, let's say that white line is on those blue Lisa Cadena tracks here, and this one here. So I can just press play on this solo here, and it'll start. See, these solos are ways to get that, whatever's under that line, to play. So I'll go down to this line here where it's king. It'll just start there. I go down to this part here where the Sweet Insanity is there. I go down to where, Wonderland remixes, and that'll start that right there. I'll go down to where She Is Yours is, and that'll start that there. And this has been the way that I've been able to manage playing any clip I want very quickly, because you just train yourself to like scroll up and down, put it in the right position, and then boom, drop it. And then that goes for any side you want. You could do that with this side over here, and we could do it with the acid over there as well. There's no clip in the acid line, so there's no actual clip, so I have to get to a place where there's a clip there for that to play, but that'll turn on there like that. So secret mappings that you can make in here. Another one that's really cool that people don't realize you could map is a way to see a particular track at any given time. So what I mean by that is see what's happening in the clip info view here. So if I double click at the top of any one of these tracks, I could see the devices that are in there. And that's cool. I could see this one, I could see that one, I could see that one. But I could actually set up a mapping so that I could do this with buttons. And the way I could do that, I'm going to use the record buttons here, the arm for record buttons here. I'm going to enter MIDI mapping mode, and I'm going to just click at the top of each track. So at the top here, click that. At the top of this one, and then I'll click that. At the top of the loops one, and I'll click that. And at the top of the acid one, and then I'll click that there. So now, if I want to see what's happening under the hood on my deck A, just click that real quick so that any knob that I'm turning in there would actually, be visible to me. If I want to quickly switch to deck B, I could do that. And they look the same because they have the same thing in there, but they're different. And if I want to switch quickly to the acid and look at what's happening there, I could do that. So you could set up buttons to do to jump, and it's very important to be able to jump quickly and have a look at what's going on in there. That way, if there's a mystery occurring, you can quickly just boom go there and see, okay, what's happening here? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What's going on in here? That's the point. So yeah, so Simple Sam says, I never knew that. That is cool. Yeah, these are some hidden little things that you find inside of Ableton that you have to kind of open up the MIDI map mode, and then you could see that there's new things appearing that weren't there before. And it's important to, take that into consideration. I could also, I could also do that with a clip, I guess, right? I could click on a clip and have the clip, come up and show me and even trigger when I play that. Let me see if I'm going to map one of these buttons to a clip, see what happens. Drop that there, and then when I go there, I could go right to that clip. Yeah, see, it goes right to that clip and plays that clip. So that is a way to do that, to go directly to a clip anytime you want. And that could be like a way that you could do it for like so if you were on like I know somebody that works doing stuff for Broadway. I have a keyboard here, and let's say you want to have clips that are set up on a keyboard, right? So let's say I go, okay, well, this one here will be this note here, and it's not coming up, and I don't know why. Should be. Let me see. Let me go to the preferences and see what's happening. Oh, it's not recognizing this guy. Let me put him back in there again. Probably just have to reconnect it for it to pop up. Come on now, do your magic. No, not coming up. Very interesting. Something died in this connection here. It is showing me that it's connected, but not connected. Interesting. But anyway, what I was trying to do is tell you is that you could actually take any one of these clips and just set them up on the keyboard and just drop the clips directly from the keyboard when you want to do that. And this is a way. This is a way that my friend who works with Broadway sets up even scenes, whole like lighting scenes and everything. You can have, through MIDI, you can control more than just the sound that's coming from your from your project. You can send out MIDI information to control lights, to control scene changes, to control so much because, maybe you've heard of DMX, for example. You could do lots of really cool DMX tricks with MIDI, just setting them up on clips, and you could just set up a controller with a piano keyboard or any type of push. Any button on the push could be any particular setting that you want it to be. It's really up to you. I find that the more that I teach Ableton and the more that I go through this Ableton instruction, the people less and less talk about the controller aspect of Ableton. The aspect that really got me into Ableton the most, because it is so powerful. It is probably one of the, if not the best setup software for being able to control with controllers. You could have several controllers, and I often do when I play live. I have maybe at least 2 or 3, and you could do lots of things at the same time. So let's have a look if there's anything else that I've missed here from what I wanted to show you today. Simple Sam says you can enable one with the crossfader. Yes, there is a crossfader in Ableton. Because Simple Sam, Martin Crockett is asking, is there a crossfader? Yes, there's a crossfader setup that you can have right here. This is the crossfader right now. I took over what is meant to be the crossfader controller over here and put that beat repeat selector on there. You could just put it back on there. I think it's just fun when people see me do this while I'm playing live and it goes brrr, and people think like, what the hell did that guy just do? It looks a lot more, the payoff visually, and you do have to kind of, work the visual payoff, right? The payoff visually is so much better to me. But if I wanted to, I could return that to the crossfader. I don't have to keep that mapping. Let's see. Let's change that back again. Let's go to the beat repeat, go into MIDI mode, and the I think the repeat button here. This is what's mapped there. So once I take that off, the crossfader should revert back to being the crossfader control. Yeah, and there it is, left and right. And the way that would work is that you have let's say I have a deck A and a deck B, and I'm playing 2 things. So let's see, 2 different tracks coming in from deck A and deck B. Let's try that one. And whatever that other one is. Let's play another track. Okay, so there's 2 tracks going. And this is the one over here, and this is the one over here. Hey, if you like what you're seeing, give me a like, please. And so crossfader could be actually, I feel like I should keep my crossfader there now. What should I map to the pitch decay? I should have a button to match the pitch decay. Let's try a button here. So let's go actually to the repeat. I'm going to map the record button. Let's see if that is as impressive looking as Sounds cool. And I guess it's cool to keep. You gotta train with that to kind of make it do the thing you want it to do. And you know, as many things that I have planned or set up in here, I always can add more. I really can. There's so much. This is just one controller, kind of not even packed yet. There's still things I could do to change, you know, to add more functionality to it. I didn't use these channels at all. I didn't use any of these buttons. These could be whatever. I love that. But imagine now if I had even just this extra controller here to kind of map out a bunch of faders and knobs and cool stuff with. Remember, I got my acid here. Let's get that acid going. Anyway, got to train with it though. And it's hard to like hold a stream and play live at the same time. But it is Friday, and we are having fun on Friday. It's just a party every Friday here at 343. Which side should I put the crossfader for the acid on? I don't know. Put some glide on that. And where did I put the control for the pitch decay? Was it on this? Yeah. I love that. Again, if you like what you're seeing, please give me a like. I'm trying really hard to entertain you guys today on Friday. Fun day. End of the week. Let's get some reverb going. I love the fact that I could do filtering and reverb at the same time. It's amazing to be able to use two hands when you're working with a computer. I haven't used the mouse once, only to map stuff. That's the point. That's really the point. Switch this out. Add a little bit of a loop here. Some hi-hats. Let's switch out to another track here. Sorry, I'm getting lost. It's the end of the show. I'm just having fun with you guys. Remember, you're watching 343 TV. We are 343 Labs. Come to our website, 343labs.com. Check out what we do. We teach you guys to do everything you see me doing here today, what you'll see John doing tomorrow on John's Techno/Electro Saturdays. Tomorrow we have a giveaway set up. It's an arterial effect of your choice. Tomorrow we will be giving that out on John's show. You can sign up for it on the website. No, I'm sorry. In the chat, there's a link. I think. What is this here? What am I doing? Let's try another track. Okay, filters down. Oh, so much fun. Let's try another track here. Bring in some low end. David Pinto says, thanks so much for this, Abe. It's a pleasure to have fun, everybody. Yeah, I'm still having fun. Von Mack says, very cool, with a sunglasses emoji thing. I'm just tweaking out all the acid. Hey, I want to see what the acid looks like. Oh, just hit this button. Now I can see what I'm tweaking. Remember that button we mapped earlier? I want to add some delay to my acid. and tweak it here. Is this playing live? Sort of. At least it's alive, isn't it? Let's go back and forth between these two. Should I stop now? No! Martin Crockett says, link to the competition is pinned to the chat. Yes. Andrew Duke says, thank you, Abe. Hey, everybody. I'm just going to keep on playing, man. I'm having too much fun with this. Should I stop now? Maybe I should stop now. No! Let's try another track. Filters are great to fool around with. A little bit of reverb. Ooh, that was cool. I didn't even plan that. I don't even know what's going on now. Let's take that hi-hat away. Bring back some sound. Bring some bass in. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, I guess we got to stop soon. Not happy about that because this is one of the most fun times I've had playing with you guys. But, yeah, maybe I got to stop. So now for real, I'm going to stop and say goodbye. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for joining me on my fun Friday party time, whatever. We'll keep it going next week. I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll do a little more of jamming out. We'll see. But come back and check it out. Remember, you're watching 343 TV. We're here Fridays, Saturdays, and every other Tuesday at 1 o'clock. My show is called The Production Basics Show. John's show tomorrow is called Techno Saturdays or Electro Saturdays, depending on how he feels that day. And then Tuesday, every other Tuesday, we have Tetro Talks. And yeah, check it out. If you like what you see, please give me a like. Subscribe to our channel. All that fun stuff, please. And I'll see you next week. And oh yeah, don't forget the giveaway, Arturia effects of your choice. See you next week. Bye. Hold on. Let me put the closing on. Bye now.